We should be live now. I'll be waiting for some people to join. I still cannot see that I'm live on my other device, but I think it'll take some time to load. When you guys join, when you guys join, please do let me know. I'll be waiting for your messages in the chat so we can kick things off. Okay, let's see how this looks for you guys. If I can actually see that. As right now, I do not see that I'm live. Am I live? Yes, I am. All right. Let's just confirm that from the other device too. And there might be a connection problem from the other device. If you're watching this replay later on, feel free to skip ahead. You don't have to watch all this. All right, it's loading. It's loading. I think I am live. Though I could be lagging. I'm not sure about that. By the way, I don't know how loud the music is gonna be. It sounds a bit loud in my headphones, but you guys can let me know if it needs any adjustment. So once you guys join, I'll adjust it for you. As of right now, I'll just need to make sure I'm actually live. And I do think I am now. Okay. But why is the picture so blurry? That doesn't look good. Okay, I guess it doesn't look too bad, but how's my video? Do I look blurry for you guys? Because over here, the quality is awful. I don't know why the streaming quality is so bad on my side. Might have to do something with the internet connection. Oh my god. Now from the laptop that I'm using to check the quality of the stream, it looks pretty awful. But I think we'll just have to roll with it. I'm waiting for somebody to suggest the name of my character, the name of the barista. So whoever suggests it first will have the right to pick the name, basically. Hello there, Magdalena. Please let me know if you can hear and see me clearly. And in addition to that, when I enter the game, let me know how loud the music is. Is it too loud? Can you still hear me well? Or should I turn it down a bit so my voice can come through more clearly? Let me know about that. Hello, Novko. Did you watch the final? What do you have to say about the triumph of PSG? Did the good guys win or the bad guys? What's your opinion on that? Yeah, the music is a bit loud, sure. So when I go into the menu, I'll turn it down. What should be the name of my character, of this barista, Magdalena and Noko? What do you guys suggest? What is a good name for a barista? A person who prepares coffees, espressos. Welcome, Jada! Woo! You showed yourself last night. Suggest a good name for this barista character. What should it be? By the way, can you hear the music now? I think there shouldn't be any music as of right now. You can just see the name of my cafe, which is Latte Nights. Not late nights, but Latte Nights. I think it's a cool name. So, I'm waiting for the name suggestions. I named the cafe, but I need a name for the barista. Ah, wow, how do I pronounce that? Ajolat. Ajolatl. It's a tough name. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with that one. What's the meaning of it, Magdalena? Marco would be great. Well, I do think that Marco is the best name in the world, but perhaps we could go with something more exotic. Uh, I'm waiting for some more suggestions. If not, I might just go with Marco in the end. But I'm curious to know the background of Ajolat. Or maybe Heath. I might go with Heath, just as a sort of throwback to our yesterday's word. Heath is a proper man's name. Like I mentioned yesterday, we had the actor who portrayed Joker in Batman Rises, Mr. Heath Ledger. Maybe Heath would be a good name. What do you think about that, guys? Should I go with Heath? I think it might be a decent choice. There are some flies around the room, around this cafe, which don't give me any peace. If you know me, you know how much I hate insects. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about some good coffee in my latte cafe. Still no suggestions for the name? Folks, I might just go with, or Marco Fe. Oh, Marcoffee. Marcoffee. Yeah, maybe I'll go with Marcoffee. I like that. I like that. It leans on the vowel. Marcoffee. Should it be with a K or a C? I think I'll stay true to my K. Marcoffee. Okay. Let's do that. It is a critically endangered aquatic salamander native exclusively to the lake system of, again, it's a tough word to pronounce, Exochimilco in Mexico City. Forgive me for butchering the pronunciation. Let me try once more. Oh my God. Exochimilco. Exochimilco. Is it any close to the original pronunciation, Magdalena? Let me know. All right, the name has been settled. We'll go with Marcoffee. That is the correct name, and I'll go ahead and immediately turn down the music volume, turn down the special effects, leave down a bit, ambience. I think this is fine. I mean, it's even then it is still quite loud. Should I just turn it off completely? I think it might be better, so then we can completely focus on the contents of the game. Or perhaps I could adjust that in my computer settings. More or less close. Okay, thank you. I'm sure it was a bit less close, but I appreciate your support. Um, could I adjust it? Ah, yes, I can adjust it. So let's turn down the volume from the game and then maybe increase it so we have just a bit of music in the background. I think this is good. What do you think, guys? Is it good now? This level of music? I think it sounds nice. Just give me a green light, give me a yes in the comments, and we'll be underway making some coffee for our guests. So in case you don't know how this is going to work, this is a comprehensible input class. The concept of the comprehensible input method is teaching words which are only slightly above the learner's level. So you are supposed to understand most of the words we're going to learn today, but some of them along the way might cause you to struggle. There might be some objects you don't know. We're going to learn that through visual pictures, and alongside that we're going to see how some casual conversations in cafes work. I believe this is American English, so if you ever plan to go to San Antonio for shopping, it might come in handy. Now it's better. Yo Kile, welcome. Yep, guys, let's start. So I'm going to read. If you would like to work on your pronunciation, you could also use this as a shadowing exercise. So as I read, try to read alongside me. And then when rewatching this, you can always pause, replay the sentence, and then try once more to sound closer to how I pronounce the sentence. Let's start, play the game. Let's see what happens. If you've been watching my streams, you know that I haven't been playing games much lately, so this is a nice comeback. We see the view of Seattle in 2020, already 6 years ago. Can you guys believe that? 2020 was 6 years ago. COVID pandemic was 6 years ago. Feels like it was yesterday. Let's continue. A city filled with dreams and madness. Madness is obviously something crazy, something that generally isn't good, whereas dreams are the things we see at night, but also the plans, the maybe not so likely plans we have in our mind that we would like to achieve in the future. A time when the Great War between races is but a footnote in history. A footnote is that asterisk you'll have, or maybe a number next to a word. So if you're reading an article on Wikipedia, and for example, there is a word like, I don't know, Kosovo, you will see the word Kosovo and then an asterisk, meaning that there is some additional information you need to see, and under the asterisk, somewhere at the bottom of the page, you'll see an explanation stating that Kosovo is not fully recognized by the UN, etc., etc. So now this Great War is essentially something that is only important on the sidelines. It is no longer the main topic. A time when anyone can dream of being whatever they want to be. Sounds nice. Let's continue. And have those dreams crushed before they can even be discussed. They can even be discussed. It's an example of a passive structure. There is no object, as you can see. Those dreams are what is being discussed. But still, it is a place and time where anything can happen. Let's go. Are you guys excited? Are you excited or what for my coffee making skills? Let's see what I can do. It is when the elves have left the forest to build their startups. Ah, I see how this is going to work. So I believe they've taken some inspiration from Lord of the Rings. If you watched that series, you'll know that there are multiple races like the orcs, the elves, and the dwarves, and I can see some of them in this picture. When the dwarves have emerged from their caves to start their automotive empires. So they are car manufacturers instead of miners in this universe. To emerge means to come out, generally strongly from somewhere or from the darkness into the light. That is to emerge from somewhere. You could talk about maybe a conflict and then a hero who emerged from that one. When the orcs have put down their axes and started using computers to improve their lives, inspirational. And when humans live among them, as driven as ever. As driven as ever, you can see the as comparison, and in this case, driven means motivated, so they are as motivated as ever. We humans have always been the race that tries to create more, to conquer places, and we can see that nowadays through deforestation that's happening in the Amazon or all around the world. We just want the best for ourselves. We don't really care about the environment. If you have any questions about the words I say or the words that appear on screen, please do let me know. So, oh, there's more. It is a city that holds the many dreams and stories of its people. This is the possessive its, so these people belong to the city. If there was an apostrophe, then it would be an abbreviation for it is. Don't forget that. Art by Dio Mahesa. Okay, we have a picture here. This is what we would call a coffee cup or even a mug, depending on the size. This shape with a small handle we could define as a cup, though sometimes cups don't have the handles. Generally, you won't be mistaken in this case, whether you say a coffee or a mug or a cup. We have an ashtray. One more time, an ashtray. And that is an object we use to put out the cigarettes. So after you're done smoking, you can put the cigarette in there, and these end parts of cigarettes, the back parts that are left after you finish smoking, are called cigarette butts. So remember, these are the cigarette butts that have been put out inside an ashtray. Do you guys smoke? Let me know in the chat. I know that Jada doesn't smoke, thank God. I don't smoke either. I hate smoking. But Magdalena, Novko, Lucas, do you guys smoke? I'm curious to know. I hope not. I obviously hope not. And what else can we see in this picture? This might be a notebook of sorts, and then a pen, it seems. So one more time, this is either a cup or a mug of coffee with its handle. It appears to be a ceramic mug / cup. We have an ashtray and cigarette butts inside of it. Most of these stories are left untold, so when something isn't talked about, when it isn't shared with anyone, especially not the public, we can describe those as untold. So in the future, I might tell you some stories from my life which are still untold. So stay tuned for those exclusives. but some few find solace in the embrace of bricks and wood and glass. All right, this is a difficult sentence. I could imagine people struggling with it. One more time, let's read it slowly. But some few find solace in the embrace of bricks and wood and glass. So the problematic words could be solace. Solace refers to something that makes you feel good, not even good, but something that reduces your sadness. If you are feeling bad, if you're feeling sad, lonely, depressed, something that slightly improves your mood, that that light at the end of the tunnel, that will be your solace. So when you are perhaps alone and somebody calls you, that could be your solace. Or on the other hand, a bad form of solace could be a cigarette and a bottle of beer. That could be, again, something that reduces your pain and your sadness. Once again, that's called solace. Some few in this case refers to a small number of people. In the embrace in this case would refer to a hug. So when we say two people embraced, they hugged each other. In this case, of course, metaphorically, idiomatically, those people are hugged by bricks, the material that some houses are built out of, wood, again, the material from the trees, and glass that serve to make windows, for example. No smoking. So today it's more coffee instead of lingo. Exactly. Today is a coffee day. No smoking. I do not smoke too. I don't smoke either. That's right. I don't smoke either. Lucas, I do not smoke either. We use either to agree with negative statements. And Magdalena, you wrote, I don't some either. I guess that was a typo, an accidental mistake. They are told over drinks, then take up residence in some stranger's memories. Again, a very advanced sentence that requires a good understanding of English. So those stories, which we previously mentioned as untold, are now told over drinks, meaning that people are drinking and talking about it. And then they take up residence. To take up residence means to move into some space. In this case, they are moving into strangers' memories. Strangers are people you don't know, people you are not familiar with. It's important to remember strange people means weird people. I've had many classes with students where they would refer to strangers as strange people. Make sure you remember the distinction. Strangers, people you don't know. Strange people, weird people, unusual people. So in this case, those stories are stored, saved in the memories of those unknown people who have heard them. Once again, if you have any questions, make sure to ask. As a reminder, this is an ashtray. Why a tray is something that you put things on. For example, you will have a food tray in a cafeteria. Ash is what is left after something burns. It's that grayish, soft material. So it's an ashtray, and these are cigarette butts. I have to repeat many times so you memorize it in your head. And I think we might be starting now with our coffee preparation, or not yet. We have some more pictures. In one corner of the city stands a coffee shop. Okay. If you're in Amsterdam or anywhere in the Netherlands, a coffee shop could have a different connotation. It could be selling different products. If you're in Serbia or Even in the United States, most coffee shops will sell you just a good cup of coffee. A place that is only open when the sun is sleeping. Okay, so it works at night. Again, something idiomatic. A place where people share their stories. We already know that. And these are their stories. Let's hear them. We have a bouquet on the sidewalk, a lovely couple walking together, a street guitarist, and then some other pedestrians, passerbys. Passerbys are the people who are just passing, who are not important in a story or a situation. Okay, let's move on to the actual story. We can see some heavy rainfall. A heavy rainfall could be described as downpour. So a downpour is a heavy rain. And the date is Tuesday, September 22nd, 2020. When you are reading the dates, guys, remember that the number will always be read as an ordinal number. So first, second, third, fourth, etc. Even if it is not explicitly written, even if it said September and then just two twos, you would still have to pronounce it and read it as September 22nd. Okay, let's start brewing some coffee. Finally, we are inside the Latte Cafe. Yes, I forgot the name of my cafe. And I am Mark Coffee. Oh, it's you. How are my acting skills? Hey, Mark Coffee. How's the night so far? So how's the night so far? It's a nice question you can use for starters. So how's your job going? How's the project so far? You can ask casually in that way. It's calm, as usual. Again, a very nice response. I always like to say business as usual. It's a nice idiomatic expression, business as usual. We've got a slight problem though. You can see here they're using the present perfect tense. We have got, and the reason for that is it is more casual. So we have got a slight problem is considered a more casual way of saying we have a slight problem. That there is no difference in meaning. It's just a matter of formality. Huh? What happened? You can see the shocked expression on her face. My supplier made some logistical errors. Okay, the supplier is the person or the company that sends you the goods you need in order to make your products or resell them later. I don't have half of my ingredients today. The ingredients, they are the things that go inside a dish or inside a drink. And I, as the barista, don't have even half of those ingredients. Man, that's a bummer. This is a great expression. Guys, pay attention to this. So when you want to sympathize with someone, when you want to express that you understand how they feel and you want to say it's a bad situation, you can reply by saying, it's a bummer. That's a bummer. What are some situations where you could say, that's a bummer? Write them in the chat, guys. If you are listening, write in the chat. Describe a situation that could lead you to say, that's a bummer. For example, if I did a canned fish giveaway and I asked the person if they liked canned fish and they said no, I could say, that's a bummer. I was about to give you a free can. That might be a good example. All right, don't worry. Okay, we're keeping things positive. Let me check the chat. Strangers, strange people. Cool, exactly. That's what's important to remember, Lucas. September 22nd is my brother's birthday. Oh, that's lovely, Magdalena. So it is coming up relatively soon. My birthday is on March 17th, so I have some decent number of months until I celebrate the next one. Don't worry, I can still serve the caffeine you desperately need. Caffeine is obviously the chemical, the substance inside coffee that gives you that boost of energy and increases your alertness. Remember, the pronunciation is caffeine. Caffeine. It is not caffeine or caffeine or any form that resembles coffee on its own. It's caffeine. Okay. That's good to hear. Absolutely, Freya. That's great news. Anyway, let me set things up first. So I need to prepare my machine and stuff. You can say anyway or anyways. Both are equally correct when you're about to change the topic. So let's say we're talking about canned fish, and I feel like we've said enough. I could say, anyway, let's talk about Magdalena's brother's birthday. You're our first customer after all. Okay, so she's opening the night. Don't worry, take your time. I'm a writer, not an editor. So I'm used to taking things slow. You can see here she used an adjective. We should be using an adverb here. We take things slowly as we are describing the verb here, how we take them. But in modern day colloquial American English in particular, there is an increased use of adjectives instead of adverbs. So you will often hear people say, oh, he plays good instead of he plays well. It is not exactly grammatically correct, but it is used. So I cannot deny and say it is necessarily wrong. And I just noticed something in the bottom of this picture, the sticky notes, and what was the brand name you told me, Magdalena? Post-it, right? Post-it notes. I actually didn't know that was a proper brand, but now I know. Hey, oh no, not hey, pardon, hey, writer's block again. A writer's block is when the writer can't come up with an idea of what to write next. They don't have any inspiration. So she is going through a writer's block. When you miss the flight, absolutely, Magdalena. When you miss the flight and you tell me, oh, I've missed the flight, I would say it's a bummer. When I was about to drink, no, not drinking, I was about to drink. After the to, we need an infinitive. About to drink my coffee, I dropped it over my white shirt. That's a bummer. Yes, a bummer. Don't forget the article, but it's a big bummer. You got that right? What are you writing now? Do you remember my plan to... Oh, I guess my machine is ready. Pardon the interruption. It's a nice way to interrupt someone. Pardon, or if you want to be more formal, pardon the interruption. The machine is ready. Do you want your triple shot espresso now? Wow, triple shot. There's lots of caffeine in that. Yes, please. And if you forget how to make it, just check your phone, okay? I think she knows I'm not the best barista. She can see the inexperience in my eyes. Anyway, I really need that triple shot espresso. Okay, we're making coffee now. How do we make a triple shot espresso? Jada tried to explain how brewing works. So when you brew something, it means you ferment it or you pour hot boiling water over it. So you could brew some beer through fermentation or brew some tea or coffee through the use of boiling water. And in this case, we are brewing a triple shot espresso. So I guess I need coffee once, twice, and 3 times. It's going to be extremely bitter and slightly warm, not cool, and not sweet. No, that doesn't help. Is this a good recipe for a triple espresso, triple shot espresso? Let me know, guys. Yep, that's a bummer. But your excellent use is not a bummer, Lucas. Thank you, this is very useful. You're welcome, Yatsa. Would you guys like a shot of triple shot espresso? I think that's too much caffeine. Is this good? I have no idea. I'm not a coffee person. What else could I add to this mix? Reset? Chocolate? No. No, we don't need chocolate. And obviously no green tea. Any milk? No, why would you have milk in a triple shot espresso? Just add coffee 3 times. I think that works. Let's see what happens. Press brew. Alright, we're brewing the coffee. And we have an espresso. We have the option to trash it, put it in the trash can, or serve it. This thing you can see under the cup is called a saucer. It's a saucer, and is that ceramic holder with the little dent or the little shallow part that you can put the cup into, and then it fits perfectly and doesn't slide left or right. It's a saucer. Don't forget that. Is it correct to say light coffee and strong coffee? I'm not very knowledgeable in that area. I know that strong coffee is definitely a thing. As for light coffee, I'll just check it for you. Light coffee, is it a thing now? Meaning. Yes. So light coffee, light roast coffee beans, they have been roasted for a shorter time and at lower temperatures. But does that, I guess what you're asking about, Magdalena, is how strong the coffee is in terms of caffeine, right? So when I order coffee, I just say, give me an espresso. That's as much as I know about coffee. But light versus strong. Like light would be a good antonym of strong in this case. Like strong and light beer, that is a thing. But light versus strong coffee. Is it a thing or not? Does it exist? As far as I could tell, it describes a roasting style. We might have dark coffee. Is dark coffee a strong coffee? Dark coffee. What does it say? Well, all of them say that dark and light refer to just the shade, the color of the actual liquid. Black coffee means coffee without milk or sugar. So basically, black coffee will be the one that doesn't have anything added to it. That's what I could find through my research. But once again, I'm not really a coffee person, so we need Jada. Jada knows everything about this, guys. Next time she's on stream, we'll ask her about different roasts. If you have more information, please do share in the chat. Let's serve this to our guest. 1 cup of triple shot espresso, special for my only customer tonight. That aroma. The aroma is the taste, the slight taste of something. She's slurping. That sound you could hear is called slurping. Ah, exactly what I needed. So when you are drinking audibly, it's called slurping. And she obviously loved it. Look at her expression. W's in the chat for my barista skills, for my brewing skills. Anyway, where were we? This is a good expression. So, for example, after Magdalena asked the question about the difference between light and strong coffee, I tried to find the difference through Google. And then after finishing that, I could have said, all right, anyway, where were we? So I'm asking the other person to remind me where we stopped, where the initial conversation was heading before the interruption. So anyway, where were we? Your plan to do something? Yes, that. It's not that I hate writing stories for the newspaper, you know? But it seems like the right time for something bigger. So, a novel? That would be a huge jump. A novel is a work of fiction, like The Lord of the Rings, or... I mean, my brain froze. What are some good novels? Harry Potter. I don't know if that's a good novel. Something from Russian writers like Dostoevsky and Tolstoy. Yes. It sounded so simple when I was making the plan. Oh, Lucas and Magdalena, if you are watching, let me know who the most famous writers are in your countries, or from your countries, should I say. Who are the most well-known Brazilian and Mexican writers? It sounded so simple when I was making the plan. At least you still have your job in case things go awry. So awry means bad. I hope my voice hacking skills aren't bad. I don't know, guys. Were my skills W or L? Did I say something wrong? No, you were right. You said something I should have thought about myself. I should have thought. So you see, she is using the third conditional here. What are you talking about? You know who owns the Evening Whispers? GRA Media, right? Yes. And they are also the biggest book publisher in the country. Remember we spoke about the pronunciation of the definite article the? We generally pronounce it as the in front of words which begin with consonants. When there is a vowel, such as I, A, E, O, U, then we're going to say the. However, we can also pronounce it as the when we are emphasizing something. Here it is in all caps, in capital letters, and it is bolded, so obviously we should emphasize it. The biggest book publisher in the country. Just a second, let me check the chat. I say Machado de Assis internally. Never heard of that name. What kind of books did he write? Were they novels, or if they were novels, what kind, what genre? The word aroma has the same meaning in Spanish, the same meaning in Serbian too. Absolutely, 100% the same. So we all share the word aroma, except that in Serbian, it would be pronounced aroma, aroma. Probably the same in Italian or Spanish, I could imagine. So when an opportunity presented itself, we could use this expression, an opportunity presents itself. When you are describing how you got a job, and maybe you want to say, oh, the older colleague quit work and then I was promoted, you could say, yes, an opportunity presented itself. So I applied for a promotion and got it. I took it. Yes, she took the opportunity. What do you mean by opportunity? You see, even the natives have to ask for clarification. Well, I bumped into one of the big guys in the elevator. I'll assume you guys know what an elevator is. It is that system that takes you up and down in the floors of a building. To bump into is a phrasal verb that could mean, well, two things. Either the more literal meaning, where you bump into something in the sense of hitting that object, but at a low speed. For example, when you're backing up in your car, you're driving in reverse, and you bump into a tree. So you hit it, but not at a high speed. So there isn't much damage done to your car. Or bump into, in this sense, means you unexpectedly meet someone. So she probably didn't hit any of those big guys, but she wasn't expecting to meet them, to see them in the elevator. However, she did. So I could say, oh, this morning I bumped into an old friend. So I saw an old friend, even though I wasn't expecting it. The most famous writers are Octavio Paz, Juan Rulfo, and Elena Poniatowska. That's interesting. That name, Elena Poniatowska, sounds very Polish to me. I would never connect it with Mexico. What's the story behind that, Magdalena? His work is concentrated majority, so mostly concentrated. You can say his work is mostly concentrated on novels and tales. Perhaps his most famous book is Memorias Póstumas. It's realistic fiction. Okay, so it's some fiction that isn't too far-fetched. It's not too hard to believe. Got it. Thank you for sharing that, Lucas. Do you guys like reading? Even though I studied the English language and literature, I must say I'm not the biggest fan of books and reading. I prefer some visual media, some videos. That's why I hope you enjoy such content where we're not just reading, but we're actually, well, we are reading most of the time, but we still have some visuals to look at. Let's continue. So naturally, I pitched my book idea. To pitch an idea means to present an idea, especially in business settings. So when you go to a meeting and you want to secure funding from your company, you want a good budget, you pitch your idea. You present the idea to all the higher ups in the company. And then if your pitch is successful, then you get the funds and the investments. So she pitched her book idea, and there is a moment of silence. She's building up suspense, tension. Still nothing. Is anybody gonna say anything? Come on, don't look at me like that. So maybe she didn't get it. Are you for real? Yeah, I know. It was such a stupid thing to do. So how did they react? Thankfully, he'd seen my short stories. In this case, this is not would. He had seen my short stories. This is an example of the past perfect tense. Why is it used here? Why is it important? Because you can imagine the scene of her and those big guys, those important people from the company in the elevator. And then she is saying one of those people already before that event, which is already in history. So right now they are sitting in this latte cafe and now they are talking. She is telling the story of something that happened in the past. And now she's mentioning that one of the people from that story had already seen her short stories. So that action of him seeing the stories happened before this other past action, which is closer to the present moment. That is how we use the past perfect tense. He had seen in full my short stories. I hope that is clear. If you guys have any questions about the tenses, especially how to use the past perfect tense, we can do a special class on that. So he challenged me. Challenged her to what? If I can get a draft ready in a month. A draft is a preparation. It's not a complete version. It is the body, the essence of a greater project. So when you are working on a project, you can create a draft which contains the essence, but it's not a finished product. It is the stage before the final one. Let me check the chat. You are a nice teacher. Thank you. I hope I am. Lucas, I do. Great. But as I said, I honestly am not a fan of reading. I'm sorry. I hope I'm still a nice teacher even if I don't like reading. He'll pull some strings. All right. So the strings are those thin, very thin pieces of wire or cloth, and you can use those strings to control those puppets in a puppet show, those marionettes. In this context, I assume, yes, so he is going to pull the strings. Pulling the strings means he controls the departments. When somebody is pulling the strings, they are the person who decides what happens, and they can always, get some help even when somebody else couldn't do it, but they hold the power, they are in control, and they are pulling the strings. And get the fiction publishing division to sign me up for a publishing deal. Woohoo! So she's gonna get the deal. Let's go. Those are good news. That sounds great. What about your job at the Evening Whispers? That's the name of her current company. I guess they print newspapers. Do you have time to do both? I don't think so. That's the hard part. I've been secretly working on the novel during office hours. Whew! That's controversial. And I'm falling behind on the newspaper's deadlines. So she is not completing her articles in the expected time. She's falling behind. To fall behind means you are gradually starting to get further and further away from the expected level. So if we are studying and there is a certain level of knowledge we are expected to have, for example, here on streams, if you come and watch every day, your English knowledge will go like this. But if somebody is missing the streams, then they will start to fall behind. They might still improve, but at a slower pace. And that difference, the gap between somebody watching regularly and the one who is not watching regularly, will gradually widen, expand, and then the person who is behind, we could say they are falling behind on the newspaper's deadlines. If the chief finds out, remember it's the chief, not the chef. The chef doesn't have an I, it's C-H-E-F, and that is the main person in the kitchen. But a chief is a leader, a chief executive officer. If the chief finds out, if she discovers this, learns about it, she'll probably kick me out. So to kick someone out means to remove them. If there is a rude person in the chat, I could kick them out and remove them from the stream. But you are all so lovely and nice, so obviously that doesn't happen. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Ouch! Well, at least you've got a month to finish the initial draft. Okay, guys, remember what the draft is. That first essential part of a project that's not completely finished. You have got a month. We already said you could say you have a month or you have got. Both are equally correct. And initial means the first one. That was last week. Oof. Yeah, I'm speechless. Again, don't look at me like that. You can see her face. She's disappointed. She's agitated. How far along are you? How far along? We use that to ask about the progress. So how far along in your journal writing are you? How far along in your English learning journey are you? So how much have you progressed? Where are you on that scale from 0 to 100%? I assume the number of words you have written is not too far from 0. Hey, that's rude. You all know what rude is. It means not nice. I've written some stuff, you know. May I see it? Well, it was so bad that, well, after reading it, did she throw it away? I decided to just delete everything immediately. No, that's not good. That's not good. She threw away all her work. So, 0. Yes. I really need to finish it in at most 2 weeks. So she has to go from 0 to 100 in 2 weeks. Doesn't sound good. Then I'll use the extra week to polish and do some editing. To polish, you can polish your table or your furniture, your car. It means to make it shiny. And in the sense of polishing your written work, it means to just, or even your videos, it means to make those final adjustments so it looks perfect. And do some editing. Sounds like a plan. If you can pull it off. Exactly. So only if it comes true. I know. You don't need to be so cynical about it. Well, what does cynical mean? Being cynical means you're saying things that you don't quite believe in a tone that clearly makes it obvious you don't believe it. So when I say, oh, I'm so happy that people don't like canned fish because it is slimy and disgusting. Like, you can hear that I don't really mean it. I'm being cynical about it. That's why I'm here today. I'm hoping to find some inspiration. I hope you've come to the right place. I don't know if Marco Lingo Cafe is the best place for that. I wrote some of my best short stories here, you know. Oh, really? I obviously didn't know that. My colleague was usually the barista. I'm just filling in for him today. Really? Glad this place could be of service. Oh, it looks like someone's coming. And we have a new character. By the way, guys, I'm getting tired of reading, so I think soon enough I'll be calling it a day. To call it a day means to stop working for the day. How are you liking it, by the way? I don't know. It's a very different concept from everything we've done so far. It's a little bit more passive. Also a bit more harder for me because I don't have anyone on the other side to have a proper conversation with. So please let me know your thoughts. Be honest, I'm really curious to hear your feedback. A person who pretends to defend an idea they don't really believe in. Yes, they don't really believe in. You can remove that at the end. They don't really believe in. Okay, that's a great definition, Lucas. I like this format so much. So put so much at the end. I like pizza so much. I like Neymar a lot. That will come at the end, and the object will come after the verb like or love. Okay, I'm happy to hear that, Lucas. So for you, we will do at least 10 more minutes of the stream. Aha! Guys, I have a question for you. What is this object right here, the white one that has the cigarette above it? Write the name of it in the chat. Even if you don't know how to spell it, I'm curious to hear the name of it. Please write it. W's. Thank you guys for the W's in the chat. I appreciate, and I do think it's a good approach. That's what we call comprehensible input. So showing you the words, even better showing you the objects, and then having you learn through that. Obviously, you still need to practice speaking, but that's why Magdalena will be here tomorrow. And Lucas, we are waiting for you. I don't know if you would like to come to Marco Lingo or Marco Cafe. You have to decide on which one is better for you. Ashtray, bingo, that's right. You are good students, guys. You are good students. So this is an ashtray, and we have a burning cigarette in her hands. Okay, welcome. She has some horns. Remember, guys, the tusks are long teeth. that come from the mouth that walruses, boars, and elephants have, but these are the horns that animals like the deer have. Okay, welcome. Hi there. And she is... Aha! Another chance to practice the vocabulary. What do we call the people we don't know? I don't know her name. I don't know who she is. How would I define her? What do we call the people that are just there? We don't know their names. We don't know anything about them. Let's see if you remember that one. The people we don't know. Yes, that's right. Wow, we got 3 answers. Amazing, guys. I'm proud of you. Yes. Hello. Good evening. For here, Miss. So Miss is a polite form, a polite title that we use for women, and it should be used for women who are unmarried. So the ones who are not married. Mrs. Mrs. will be used for married women. Yes, please. I'm not really sure what to order though. Okay, so a great way to learn. Yes, I'm happy to hear you are enjoying it, guys. I'm not really sure what to order though. Okay. What do you recommend? So I need to recommend, I need to suggest something I think is good. That depends highly on your mood. So it depends on how you feel. I'm just here to meet my boyfriend. Ah, so she's taken. She's in a relationship. Not planning to be awake all night. To be awake is an adjective meaning you're not sleeping. So I'm awake means you are not sleeping. I wake up, that means you open your eyes. You are no longer in sleep, but I am awake as an adjective that describes your state. So definitely no coffee. Okay. How about something chocolately? Chocolate, not chocolately, chocolatey. Chocolatey. I guess chocolatey would be the correct pronunciation. How about something chocolatey? Yeah. Chocolate and then just add E at the end. Something chocolatey. It's perfect for this weather. Yeah, as we said, there's a downpour outside. Looks horrible. There's a fan cooling them down. I think it might be unnecessary as the weather is quite cold. That's a good idea, actually. Thank you. You're welcome, stranger. Anything with chocolate in, please. Okay, so what should I brew for her? We need chocolate powder, right? And I guess we need milk. Or no, does it matter in which order I add them? We have the base, we have the primary, and the secondary. Do you guys have any experience with brewing drinks? I've only ever brewed coffee, Turkish coffee at home. And that is only when Jada forces me to do so. I don't know. Give me a suggestion for the recipe, guys, please. I need a good recipe. What should be the base? She said no coffee, right? And I don't think that tea goes well with chocolate. Milk chocolate and maybe some sweet. Some sweet what? Sweet is an adjective. We could say a sweet to mean candy. But if you just say sweet, then you would not need to add a noun after it. But I like your suggestion. I guess the base is gonna be milk. No, I guess I can't add milk. If I start with milk, it just allows me to use milk. Alright, so then the base is gonna be chocolate, milk. Can I add any sugar? I have my phone here. My brew pad. Ah, perfect. We have all the recipes here. Great. So what should I give her? Dark chocolate? I mean, dark chocolate says chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. A warm and calming darkness. Isn't that too chocolatey? I think that's too much chocolate. We should add some milk to it. I don't think she is lactose intolerant. She can handle some dark chocolate. I mean, some milk in it, right? Sugar, yeah. Sugar in that case. Some sweetener. We could use sweetener to mean something that adds that taste of sweetness. Although when we say sweetener, we usually nowadays will talk about some compounds, some chemicals that are not sugar. I mean, it said chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Maybe chocolate, chocolate, and then milk. Let's take a risk. Let's see what happens. I think it's better with milk, right? Let's do it. Cocoa. Should we do some latte art? Let's try it. Pour milk. Etch. So we can use this to draw something. Okay, let's pour the milk. What should I write? I'm gonna write letter C. Oh, oh, this is horrible. I wanted to do it for Jada, but don't show her this, guys. Oh, it looks awful. Okay, we need to change the plan. What could I change it into? Now it looks like nothing, really. It reminds me of something, but I don't want to say what it is. So, what could I... Can I do something with it? Okay, let's etch it a bit and try to maybe fix it. Oh, this is horrible. Okay. Wait a second. I can make this work. Not all hopes are lost. Let's draw a circle. I mean, why not? We are keeping it simple. Ah, this is the worst ever latte art. What even is that? Why did I try to do it? Can I reset? I think I can reset it. A Picasso masterpiece. Oh, Lucas, you're killing me. You're always coming in with some spicy comments, just like yesterday when you crushed my dream of Djokovic winning the title. Okay, wait. We're gonna reset and we're gonna draw a cat. So this is how a cat would go. Okay. Okay. I think this is pretty nice. I think this is pretty good. Oof. Alright, the eyes. Okay, wait a second. Let me cook. I'm pretty happy with this. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm pretty happy with this kitty. We are already at night. You need to remember, these are not kids. They are adults. So I think that something a bit more adult themed, like this crazy killer cat, is more suitable. If you were served this latte art, what would you think of it? Be honest, guys. If you went to a cafe at night and you got this in your cup, how would you feel about it? I'm gonna serve it. Let's see how she feels about it. 1 cup of chocolatey goodness. Okay. Thank you. This is the moment of truth. So warm. She didn't say anything about the cat. Okay, that was pretty underwhelming. Underwhelming means it wasn't as great as expected. Like, I was expecting some better reaction from her, but okay. Crazy killer cat. That's how I decided to call her. Maybe she wasn't so bad. Thank you for the support, guys. Thank you, Lucas. So you're waiting for your boyfriend? Yes, he should be here soon. Look at you now. You went from empty to 3 customers in one night. Yeah, business is booming. I thought this place would be more crowded. Me too. Considering it's the only coffee shop that's still open after midnight around here. Because it's the only coffee shop that still opens past midnight, it's mostly empty. I guess she's thinking inside of her mind. That's why it's in italics. So she's trying to say that because... Or do they open past midnight? That still opens past midnight. Aha, I think that the girl said we are the only ones open past midnight. And now Freya is saying that we are the only one that actually opens, that starts their operation past midnight. Which would then make sense. Now that you mention it, is it good for business having the coffee shop only open at night? Aha, so I was right. We are only open at night, which is indeed a strange concept. Definitely not. She's having a great laugh. Yup, what she said. Then why? I just love doing it. Just like this. Just like this. Even though we have 7 viewers now, so obviously I don't have just 2 customers. I have 7 lovely people watching. Even if there was only 1 person, I love doing this, so it makes me happy. And there's always someone longing for a warm drink at this hour. Well, to be fair, it is already almost 20 past 10 here. So after I explain the word longing, I will call it a day. I will end the stream and I will leave you longing for more. So back to the word longing, it means you have a strong desire for something. If you are longing for someone or for something, it means you are craving it. It means you really need it. So that's why I said I will leave you longing for more streams like this. So you will really want them and you will ask me, Marco, when is it coming? That's what she's saying here. So there are some people who need a warm drink at a late hour at night. That's fascinating. Okay, that's gonna be all for today. So how can I save the game? Yes, save it there. Main menu, and that's gonna be all for today, folks, as the Looney Tunes would say. All right, let me just adjust the stream. I could even make myself bigger like this. Am I bigger now, guys? Let me know. Let me check. I can't see it yet on my side, but I thank you so much for joining. I'm glad to hear you guys enjoy the stream. It reminds me, aha, Lucas, be careful, not remembers me, reminds me. To remember means, okay, you learned the word ashtray, you learned the word stranger, now you need to memorize it. So remember means memorize. And remind means it makes you remember. So if you tell me, Marco, please remind me to turn off the TV before I go to sleep, it means I will send you a message. Lucas, turn off the TV, and then you will say, aha, you will remember to turn off your TV. And in this case, I explained the other meaning of remind, but we could also use remind to say that the person resembles, the person or object resembles another one. So when you have, for example, Magdalena loves the Islamic architecture, the architecture in Turkey resembles or reminds us, reminds people of the Byzantine architecture. So most of their mosques are actually built in a similar style that Byzantine churches were built in. So you could say that the Turkish, modern Turkish mosques remind you of Byzantine churches. That is the key difference. Okay, today time has flown. Nice format. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Magdalena, thank you for your kind words. Lucas, thank you for being here. Wishing you guys a great day. And for all you folks in Europe, a restful night. See you tomorrow.